This is Enterprise, my 1999 E450 Super Duty. I converted it last year to a motorhome myself. Went through all the registration process. It actually wasn't that difficult. It did take about, I'd say, 2 months to get completed. Just the registration process. The build process probably took about 3 months or so. So yeah, I was gonna do that Bitcoin mining video the other day, but I figured I'd wait for it to snow. You know, I saw this forecast coming up, and it looked like a good opportunity to shoot. And you know, I got the miner in there. I can show you how it's keeping me warm in this kind of inclement weather. And Dutch Wonderland in the background. The place doesn't get that much traffic nowadays, and it's crazy, an Amish theme park. So I figured I'd show you guys this place, and then give you a little tour, show you the heater, show you the Bitcoin mining. We'll check out profitability, about how much power it's consuming, and hopefully later I'm going to do a few donuts around the RV. So I had to turn off the generator to shoot the video here, so I'm going to show you guys this thing. Made this little box for it. I had my buddy fabricate this to fit this little generator here. I like having it out back. It's nice and convenient. Plus there was no spot for it. I mean, I made this RV myself, so didn't have like a built-in generator or anything like that, like a lot of these bigger motorhomes do. I call it an RV all the time. I guess technically it's a motorhome. So yeah, this is my car that I'm towing behind. I guess they call it a toad. That's what I hear a lot of people calling these things. So yeah, I'm gonna get this thing started up here in a little bit. Hopefully do some donuts. It should be fun. I haven't ran it in a little bit. It has to be run anyway for the transmission to get lubricated. It's an automatic transmission. I want to swap it for a 6-speed manual transmission, but it's really expensive. And it'll tow easier with the 6-speed manual, and it's a lot more reliable, and you know, it'll cruise better on the highway, better gas mileage, so kind of excited about that. So yeah, this thing holds about 2 gallons, 1.8 gallons, and it runs for about 8 hours in economy mode. And it will make about 18 amps, 16 amps in eco mode. And then you can kick it over to regular mode, and that'll make about 26 amps, I think. And I got it connected here with this TT30 to that marine waterproof plug there. That does nicely. So yeah, I just got to top this off, probably choke it off because it's pretty cold. And so yeah, I had it connected, the car towed behind here with the tow dolly, but I blew through 2 tires and I had all kinds of issues with it. It was really big pain to detach and just to manage. It was very difficult. You know, 6 rolling tires, and so this is a simpler setup. I think it took me maybe 3 hours in total to install the whole thing, and it works so well. I'm in love with it. It's just so much better. It's just such a better experience. All right, I think I gotta get my hands off this thing now. It's on, choke it. I guess it still had a little bit of heat in it. So that started up really easily. I mean, not that it doesn't normally start up easily, but it's normally start up that nice. It's not too loud. Surprisingly, you can barely hear it from here even. Go around the front, probably can't hear it at all. Yeah. So that's that. So yeah, this thing will run for about 8 hours. I can just let it go like that. Works pretty nicely. Alright, so now you guys can hear what it sounds like with the generator running. It's a little bit noisier back underneath here. It's not too bad. We're gonna have an issue seeing this display again. I'm gonna show you guys the power usage here. So it looks like we have 54 volts, almost 55 volts in the battery pack, and about 15.3 amps is what's being pulled from the battery. And we have down there, you see that the load is about, actually sorry, that's the amount being charged to the battery. And our load is only about 850, 700. It looks like to be ranging between 400 and 800, or oh wow, there's 900. Yeah, so you can see down there that we're actually charging at minus 1300 to minus 1800 watts or so. So we can look at our solar panels here too. So we can see that we're obviously not making any power because they're completely covered. What actually looks like to do some harvesting, 1 amp hour. And the other bank of solar panels, the same thing. And the complete system stats. Yeah, so that's that part. So, like I said, this generator out here, it'll provide about 3,600 watts at 120 volts, and it's only 120 volt. I really was trying to get a 240 volt, 120 volt generator, just so I could go 240 volt natively, because I have some issues when I kick over my 230, 240 volt equipment here. It has to trip the generator, even though it can put out the amperage, it can't actually handle dealing and routing that load over those wires in the right way without pulling off the battery. So it actually has to kick off the generator while it pulls from the battery, which kind of really sucks. There's a couple of modes where you can do like generator support, but I don't believe that works in a 240 volt load unless somebody else has a Schneider Kinax SW and wants to let me in on the secret, because I haven't been able to figure it out. I really probably should get up there and dust off my solar panels, because I could be getting about 2 to 3 amps, I feel like, even though maybe not that much, maybe about 2 amps in these conditions. So yeah, this generator can run for about 8 hours, outputting this 15-18 amps pretty easily. So I'm just gonna let that run, and I'll show you guys the load of. I'm gonna shoot another video probably in a little bit here where I'll go over all this stuff, what it does, how it works, what these lights do, how I wired this all up and figured it all out, because oh yeah, that's the other charge controller back there. I really want to get that solar panel upgrade done. That's kind of why I got these 2 boxes. It's way overkill, but I intended to do that panel upgrade in the near future. So yeah, this is actually called switchgear. So I'm sure a lot of you thought I was bullshitting the other day when I said I was mining Bitcoin to keep me warm in my motorhome. Well, it's not bullshit. It's actually real. And one of the first things I thought people would question is, how does he have internet? That can't be something he does all the time. That requires a lot of data. Like, you have to stay connected all the time, right? Well, I figured something out. There's this company, Unlimited to Go, and they have an off-grid internet package. There's another company out there too, I forget what their name is, but they're a little bit more expensive. And this off-grid LTE package allows me to pay only $100, and I get legitimate, full, unlimited LTE. It's fast, it's reliable, I haven't had any downtime yet. The latency is low enough where I can easily game. It's absolutely incredible. I'm living like I have a full broadband cable connection, and it's awesome. So what I did here is I hooked up an Asus range extender, and I bought 2 antennas, 48-inch, 9 decibel gain off Amazon, and installed those on there, drilled a couple holes through there and routed the wires around. And then I put 2 2.5 watt amplifiers on there. Extends the range. I mean, this thing's pretty ridiculous. I can get maybe 3/4 of a mile away in flat line of sight, maybe longer than that, and still have good Wi-Fi connection to it. The other box up there is a Mophie wireless router, and that's actually in the Unlimited to Go package. And I connected that to 2 trucker antennas out there, 2 LTE over the road mirror antennas. So that gives me a little bit better reception and signal strength, a little bit better reliability, probably a little bit lower latency overall. And this thing just works so well. I haven't had any downtime from the router itself. The Asus router repeater, it does both, I believe, is also fantastic. And also these little 2.5 watt, I forget exactly what the name of those are, but they're awesome. And yeah, so I have my PC in there. This is another thing I get asked a lot. People wonder how I have the monitor here and the other 2 monitors in the living room, or I guess living quarters. I don't know what to call it, I guess. What's on the monitors is from the same computer. That computer with the Bitcoin miner attached to it is actually what powers all of the displays through a couple of HDMI cables run throughout the motorhome. So I'm able to watch the same thing that I was in the living room in my bedroom without any problems. I mean, that's something most people don't get to do in their own houses. And I just have a couple of wireless keyboards here, 2 of them actually, so I don't even have to move the keyboard from one area to the other. That works out really well. It's a pretty great system, and it's a smart TV too, so if I don't, the computer turns off or something like that, there's updates, I could just, switch over to the smart TV. And I don't really trust those things at all, but I don't know, it's there, it's an option. I don't think this one has any cameras on it. Maybe, who knows. There was that scare a while back, I think, with LG and Vizio. I forget which ones it was. Maybe LG wasn't one. I think it was Vizio and Samsung, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so that's my internet connection. I have true, legitimate, real, unlimited internet. I've probably consumed 500 gigs or so in 1 month, like easily, no problem. And it's still working reliably. And I haven't had any caps or throttling either. Like, I have to reiterate, because people have abused the word unlimited for so long. It's really ridiculous. Unlimited internet means unlimited bandwidth. It has implications. In the common speak, most of us understood it to mean something. And I feel like now you can't even tell people. Like, I've tried to explain this to multiple people and they don't understand, and I'm using English. The corruption is so bad in our society sometimes, it just blows my mind that we have words that have completely lost their meaning. But yeah, so this is my internet. It works great. I'm really happy with it. And that's how I'm able to mine Bitcoin and heat up my place. Oh, also, the one Bitcoin miner I have is only about 300 watts, so it doesn't produce that much heat. My computer also produces some heat. It's an 8-core desktop with a pretty beefy graphics card, so that outputs a good amount of heat as well, at least 200 watts running most of the time. But my bed here also has an electric blanket under mattress built into it, so that works really well. I mean, it really cuts down on power usage. I can keep it a little bit cooler in here, and then in the morning I could just start the truck, take a shower, make some coffee, and then by that time, you know, dress up, turn off the truck with some clothes on, and then, you know, let the miner do its job. I think right now it has the room at 16.1 degrees Celsius, so that's really not too bad. It's about 60 degrees, so 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 16 degrees Celsius. It's kind of room temperature, I guess. I mean, I just wear a light jacket or a sweatshirt in here and I feel fine. So this is what I was talking about. The sound system in here works great. It's all centralized, one point of failure. So like I said, I do have to rely on that smart TV every once in a while. I run Linux, and Linux is great, but every once in a while the graphics driver stuff will break on me. The graphics drivers in Linux, this open source free software operating system, kind of doesn't work that well. There's been all kinds of strange politics around it. It's kind of like Bitcoin in general, the whole open source Linux political stuff. But yeah, anyway, it works great. Here it is. This is kind of my open air strange 8-core machine. It's got all these HDMI cables and they run up and around here. And I'm able to display this over here. And so yeah, they're all the same. It's all the same computer. And over here I got some of my mining stats, so we can see how the miner's doing itself. So it's been running for 7 hours and 38 minutes. Well, I haven't refreshed the page actually, so it's been running longer than that. And it's ASICs, the little chips on it. The temperature reader in there, the thermistor, says that it's reading at 37 degrees and 39 degrees Celsius. And it looks like everything's fine. So yeah, no stale shares. So stale shares would happen if I had a high latency or a bad connection or something like that. So yeah, it's reliable, it's fast, and it's doing valid work, it looks like. Difficulty's up there, I think. So yeah, let's show you the temperature. So it's been able to keep the, you know, the room in here at 60 degrees Fahrenheit when it's 30 degrees and snowing outside. I mean, look at it out here. It's crazy. It's absolute. I mean, my windshield is completely covered. Yeah, it's almost, yeah, it's ridiculous out there. And now for the fun part. Is staying warm actually making me money? Well, it doesn't look like it. 713 Satoshis. I think that amounts to something like 3.9 cents. It's not good. So the payout threshold there is 0.01, and that says it'll take 4 years and 11 months for a payout. And 0.01 right now I think is around $54 or $55. And it looks like my estimated daily reward is 561. So that's I don't know. It's I had a little bit higher expectations for this, but I mean I didn't have much of an expectation. So I'm gonna do some update videos and keep you guys posted, because this is only 7 hours. Maybe these calculations are old. I mean, probably this last one here with the 150 gigahash. Maybe it's throwing out some of the calculations here, the averages. It probably is the case. So I'm probably going to do I'm definitely going to do 2 or 3 more episodes about the heating, how the heating does. I want to upgrade the miner in the future. So yeah, we'll definitely be talking about this. We'll definitely be covering it. For now, I'm going to use Slush. Maybe we'll try out some different pools. We'll demo some different stuff. And we'll log the profitability, the fuel cost. We'll cover stuff like dusting off my solar panels or not, efficiency ratings. I really want to get this this monitor controller battery management system done. Yeah. I know you've heard me talk about it a bunch of times already, but I want to get the battery management system up so that I can plug that into this other system that Schneider provides, which allows you to control kind of a bunch of different aspects of the system and see that stuff externally. So same with the battery management system as well, but I'll be able to provide that stuff maybe on a website, so I can provide daily stats and keep you guys posted. And that way no one's calling bullshit, because I know I got a bunch of people already saying, hey, your last videos were total clickbait. And, you know, guilty, the titles were kind of a little bit flashy, I'll give you that. But this is all real stuff, I'm actually doing it. And stick with me, it's going to be fun, and we're going to be covering all kinds of stuff like this. So here's the miner up and running, the miner interface. I'll show you guys, just no one's calling bullshit here. There's 7 hours on the clock. Utility of 12, work utility 6,318. Don't know what any of this stuff means. It looks like the temperature is 39°C and 37°C. And the fans stay pretty quiet, especially when the temperature's around 60 degrees. A lot of people say, isn't that loud? Like, isn't that a terrible idea for a heat source? Well, I mean, if you're wearing a sweatshirt or you're wearing a jacket all the time, you don't mind the cold like I do. Like, I really don't mind this that bad. So 60 degrees is comfortable for me. So I can easily deal with the fan. It's running right now. It's right behind me. Oh, also, I forgot about this guy. So this guy is a step-up voltage transformer, and I am going to use this hopefully to take the alternator 12 volt power and connect that to my battery pack. And it says it'll do 20 amps, but I mean, these little guys on here just aren't that, where is it? They aren't that big. These what are these? These tie downs, these screw clamps, they're just not that beefy. It makes me really wonder if it's going to be able to do 20 amps. So yeah, it says it'll take in 12 volt and output 60 volt, which is what I need. Well, better than 60 volt, it'll do up to 70 volts. So this looked like exactly what I need to do the trick. So I got to figure out how to wire this in, hook up like some kind of switch on the dash and breaker system, and get this connected to my battery. That way, whenever I'm driving the truck, I'll be charging up my generator. Not my generator. I'll be charging up my Tesla battery pack. My Tesla Smart 8 module, 30 kilowatt hour or so battery pack. So it's a beefy pack and needs a lot of charge. And I'm not sure that right now it's as efficient as it could be, because again, the battery management system's not on there, so it's not balanced charging. And I believe that when you're not balanced charging, that creates a bunch of issues, and you can actually get hot spots in your different modules or your different battery cells in the modules. So that's not good, and that can create all kinds of issues. So I really need to plan that stuff out and focus on getting an episode done like that in the near future. But yeah, you can see here it's mining, and it looks like it's doing well. Well, it kicked up a little bit, so maybe it's actually heating this place up past 16C. I bumped up the frequency there a bit. I was underclocking a little bit because it was only about like 35, 36 degrees outside regularly, and it seemed to be keeping the place warm enough. I mean, it was reliably like 62, 64 degrees in here with the miner running. But yeah, I'm gonna keep you guys updated, keep you posted, keep you in tune with the profitability. I was talking to my friends the other day about this Bitcoin mining episode, and I was explaining the situation with my Antminer S3 Plus, and that it only makes about 300 or 400 watts of heat, right? Consumes 300, 400 watts of electricity, but it's also only producing about that much heat-wise. So it's not actually doing all that much. Well, it's doing a lot. I mean, you saw it's 60 degrees Fahrenheit in here. It's pretty impressive. So between that and the computer you saw down below, it's about 600, 700 watts consistently being burned right now to produce heat in here. Which, if you think about a small room and a 1,000-watt heater, you know, at full blast, it's going to heat the room pretty effectively, even when it's pretty cold out. So it's about right. It about makes sense. But I was wondering what you guys think about the honey miner thing. Should I do an episode where I run that and see how that's able to do with my ASIC back here? See if that's able to deal with 10-degree weather, you know, 0-degree weather, before I do the upgrade and get into the other stuff. That way I'm doing updates on this, and I'll do updates on the other stuff, and we can see how that goes. But if you guys don't want to see that type of thing, let me know down below. I want to know in those comments. I want to know if I should stay on the van life RV type thing, or if I should get into more of my technical kind of nerdy stuff with the Bitcoin and the electrical work back there and the battery management install stuff. Or if we want to stay more of the car stuff and to like how things work, the plumbing, the electrical stuff. What do you guys want to see in the next few episodes, at least? Let's not talk about I mean, where I'm going with the show yet, but I mean, maybe just in the next few episodes, because maybe I want to cover all that stuff anyway. But yeah, let me know down below. Like, subscribe. Also, if you haven't already, check out my Patreon. I added a new tier over there. The new tier is for uncut footage. So I'm going to put together a whole uncut section where I have not terribly long, I promise, not hour long, but you know, maybe most of the good takes, most of the good bloopers, we'll include that stuff in there. Or I'll include all that. I don't have anyone working with me. I'm doing this all by myself so far. So yeah, I'll include all that stuff in there for you guys every month or so. I'll try and do every episode and do an uncut version, and that's just $10 per month, and you can get hooked up on that. And then I have my base tier there. That's just for donations. I appreciate any donations there. You can also donate in Bitcoin. But yeah, that's it for now. And if you guys stay tuned, maybe I have some donuts for you later. Wow, this thing it actually does great in the snow. Pretty impressed with it. Alright, get through here somehow. This is kind of scary. Open outside. Oh yeah. Gotta come back through those donuts later. This is probably a horrible idea. There's a very major road out there, and I'm kind of worried. Let's see if it starts. Not bad. Started. Let it warm up for a couple minutes here. And this is my twin turbo 2JZ Lexus GS300. It has a limited slip differential in it. So, you know, even though I got summer tires, it's still able to actually get around. So yeah, I mean, I have a set of winter tires for this. It's really a shame that I wasn't able to actually, you know, get out here with the tires that, you know, you should really have on it. Oh, two-step action there. Some nice flames for the camera. So I think I better finish up before I get in trouble. And, you know, this car just loves it. Doesn't care. Take a look at the idle here. That's why I love this car. Turn the AC on. It's just an awesome car. And it's just reliable. Oh, that's noisy. And yeah, I just shot fireballs and did burnouts and nothing broke. Had a whole bunch of fun. So yeah, like, subscribe, join me for some more this tire slaying hoonigan. Well, not much of a tire slay in this snow, you know, but yeah, thanks. See you guys next time. I just got kicked out by the owner. I'm gonna get this thing done up quick and get out of here before I get in trouble. Later it'll be too late. Gotta back the car up a little bit, I think. Oh, that's too far. Put it in neutral. Probably the best way to do it. It's a bit of a pain because I don't have a non-binding tow bar, a binding tow bar. So that's why I just pull the car closer.